Picture this. Las Vegas, New Year's Day, sun's out, everyone's on the strip, that kind of vibe. People are celebrating, probably taking a bunch of selfies in front of, places like the Trump International Hotel.
Oh, yeah, that's Vegas for you.
Right. And then out of nowhere, bam, explosion.
Wow.
Yeah, a Tesla Cybertruck explodes. Total shockwaves through the crowd. I mean, you can imagine, right? Smoke everywhere.
Yeah, that's definitely not something you see every day, especially not on New Year's Day.
Nope. Not the start to the year anyone was expecting. And you know what makes this whole thing even weirder?
What's that?
It's the Cybertruck itself. Think about it. This thing is supposed to be, like, indestructible. They talk about its stainless steel frame, all this advanced tech, and it just explodes.
Yeah, that's pretty ironic when you put it that way. Like, the whole selling point was that it was super tough.
Exactly. Makes you wonder what could even cause that kind of damage.
For sure. And then there's the driver.
Yeah, Matthew Livelsberger.
Right, him. Not just some random guy. Turns out he was Army. Spent a whole decade at Fort Bragg.
Oh, wow, Fort Bragg. That's pretty intense.
Yeah. Known for its training, special ops, the whole 9 yards. Definitely makes you think, what's his story?
Absolutely. And it gets even, more complicated when you find out Livelsberger was also, dealing with PTSD.
Oh, wow. So you've got this veteran trying to navigate life after service, dealing with PTSD, and then this.
Yeah, it's a lot. Makes you think about the struggles so many veterans face, trying to find their place after everything they've been through.
Definitely. It's a whole other side to this that you can't ignore.
And here's where things take a turn that, well, no one saw coming. They found traces of explosives in the wreckage.
Wait, you're saying it wasn't an accident?
Nope. High-grade explosives. Someone planted a bomb.
Hold on. This is starting to sound way more serious.
Right. And get this. This is where it gets really crazy. Remember we were talking about Fort Bragg? Well, turns out the guy behind another attack that happened, I guess, on the same day in New Orleans.
No way.
Yeah, this guy, Shamsuddin Bahar Jabbar, he was also stationed at Fort Bragg at the same time as Livelsberger.
Okay, what? That can't be a coincidence.
Right. What are the odds? So now you've got these two guys, both from Fort Bragg, both involved in attacks on the same day.
So what, are we thinking some kind of coordinated thing?
Yeah.
Like a bigger plot going on?
That's what everyone's trying to figure out. I mean, is it a conspiracy? Or did they somehow, independently come to the same, conclusions? It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and don't forget, this all went down in Vegas, a place known for its security, cameras everywhere.
Exactly. If it happened there, it could happen anywhere.
Makes you wonder, what else are we missing?
Right. So we've got a veteran with PTSD, a supposedly indestructible truck turned into a bomb, and this possible link to another attack.
And this is just what we know so far.
Exactly. We're just scratching the surface here.
There's a lot more to uncover, a lot more to think about. This whole thing just keeps getting deeper.
Buckle up, because we're diving in. This is going to get interesting.
This whole thing, this explosion, it's really shaking people up. I mean, it makes you think about, about some of the things we don't always want to face.
Yeah.
About the world we live in,
Yeah, I get that. We talked about terrorism, but it's like you said, there's more to it. Deeper stuff.
Exactly. It's like those things we maybe don't want to think about, but we have to.
Yeah, you're talking about the veterans, right? And how safe our technology really is.
Exactly. Those things, they hit close to home for a lot of people.
For sure.
Like, take Livelsberger. It's a terrible story, but it shows us, reminds us what so many veterans go through. Coming back after war, it's
not easy.
No, not at all. PTSD, that's tough, really tough. And it seems like we're not doing enough to help.
What gets to me is this whole idea, is PTSD, could it lead to, radicalization? Is that possible? Like the trauma, the feeling alone, could that make someone turn to like extreme ideas?
It's a question we got to ask. We know these extremist groups, they target people who feel lost, like they don't belong. And some veterans, they're hurting, trying to deal with what they've seen, what they've been through.
And they're vulnerable.
Exactly. It's a scary thought. Someone who served their country, risked their life, and then they get pulled into violence. What can we even do to stop that?
It's tough.
We have to get to the root of it, like really helping veterans with their mental health, giving them real chances to work, to connect with their community, making them feel valued, like they matter.
We owe them that much, at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this whole thing, it makes you think about technology too, right? Especially cars.
Yeah, how safe are they really?
Like the Cybertruck, it was supposed to be all futuristic, the next big thing, but now it's like a symbol of how easily things can go wrong, how vulnerable we are.
Yeah. It's kind of unsettling, right? someone hacking a car, making it crash or something, is that really possible?
More than people think. It's happened before. People controlling cars remotely. And the more connected cars get, all that software, the internet, it's a bigger target for hackers.
So what can we even do? Can we make these systems hacker-proof?
It's a challenge. But the car industry, they got to make cybersecurity a priority. From the beginning, not as an afterthought. Strong security built in, testing for weaknesses, all that.
Sounds like a big change from how things are done now.
It is. But it needs to happen. And the government, they got to step up too.
How so?
Rules, regulations, standards for connected cars. Make sure companies are doing security checks looking for problems. And investing in research. Got to stay ahead of the hackers.
That's a lot.
It is. But it's about saving lives. After the explosion, the public, how did they react to all this?
Oh, it was huge news. Everywhere. The news, social media, you couldn't escape it. It had everything. A famous hotel, a futuristic truck, a veteran, a possible terrorist attack.
Like a movie, but real.
Yeah, exactly. And people, there were so many opinions. Some were worried, felt bad for Littlesberger and his family, saw the bigger picture, what it all meant.
Yeah, a lot of people online were sharing their own stories.
Yeah.
About family members in the military, the struggles they faced. It started a real conversation about veterans, about mental health.
I saw that too. It was powerful.
But there was also the other side. All the speculation, the conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah, that too.
People trying to connect the dots, make it fit their own beliefs, whether it was true or not.
That's the internet for you, right? So much information and so much that's just not true.
It's hard to know what to believe sometimes. And Tesla, well, they were right in the middle of it all.
You had this high-tech truck, the Cybertruck, and people started asking, is it really as safe as Tesla said?
Oh, yeah, Tesla took a lot of heat. Some people were saying they put too much focus on being innovative, pushing the limits, and not enough on making sure it was safe.
Like they rushed it out without thinking about the risks.
Yeah, something like that. It's got to be tough for a company like Tesla. Their whole image is about being cutting edge.
Definitely. So how did they handle all the criticism?
Well, they did this, standard stuff. Sent condolences to Levelsberger's family, said they'd cooperate fully with the investigation. And, of course, they talked about how committed they are to safety, all the testing they do, the security measures, all that.
But everyone says that, right? Did they actually do anything?
Yeah, they actually did. They said they were going to look at all their cybersecurity stuff again, especially for the Cybertruck. And if they need to make changes, upgrades, they'll do it.
So they're taking it seriously.
Seems like they even started a public campaign. Trying to teach people about cybersecurity, how to protect their cars and stuff.
Interesting. So maybe some good will come out of this after all. This whole thing's been a wake-up call, not just for Tesla, but for anyone making cars these days.
Definitely. Suddenly, everyone's paying attention to cybersecurity, how vulnerable these connected cars can be.
It makes you think, what about the rest of us? We all use technology every day. Are we just sitting ducks for these hackers?
You're not helpless. There's things you can do, like always keep your software updated. On your phone, your computer, even your car. Make sure you have strong passwords, different for each account.
That's good advice.
And that two-factor authentication thing, turn that on whenever you can. And just be careful online, what you click on, what information you share. If something seems off, it probably is.
Good old common sense, right?
Exactly. But we got to remind ourselves, it's easy to forget with all the technology around us. This explosion, as awful as it was, it's like a reminder that cybersecurity, it's important for everyone.
It's not just about our data anymore. It's about our safety, our lives.
You got it.
Yeah.
The more we depend on technology for everything, transportation, healthcare, the worse it'll be if someone hacks into it.
It's scary to think about.
It is. This whole Cybertruck thing, it's tragic, but it forced us to look at some hard truths about our world, the problems we face. And the thing is, we're still figuring it all out. There's still so much we don't know.
Yeah, the investigations are still going on.
Right. But we know one thing for sure. This whole thing, it's changed things. People are talking about veterans, about technology, about how to stay safe online. And those conversations, they're important.
If we want to learn from this, make things better, we got to keep talking.
Exactly. This deep dive, well, it started with an explosion, but look where we ended up. It just shows you, even something that seems like an isolated event, it can affect so much more.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and it reminds us to think critically, to question things, to look deeper, get different perspectives. We're bombarded with information all the time, but we got to be smart about it. Figure out what's real, what's not.
So if there's one thing you want our listeners to take away from this, what would it be?
Think about the world around you. Don't just accept things at face value. Ask questions. Talk about the tough stuff. Because if we want a better future, we got to work for it. Together.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's been great talking about all this with you. Really eye-opening.
You too.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Hope it got you thinking. And until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and never stop asking questions.
Lebih masalah orang. Ada urusan yang juga lebih masalah orang. Nah, punya boleh sih. Lebih masalah orang. Ada urusan yang juga lebih masalah orang. Nah, punya boleh sih. Nabi matara wala ado udugana bigo prebe matara wala Nas mungkin boleh sih.